first.
The news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on this Wednesday morning. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And you definitely called that 1-2 punch yesterday. Heavy rain in the morning, even heavier last night, and that video of that flooding.
Yeah, lots of local waterways pretty high right now. In fact, let's take a look at some of those flood warnings. I've got a lot of them to break down here. So let's begin with a look at across New York State, because look at that. There's a lot of impacts, not just locally, heading out to western New York, the Finger Lakes, and of course central New York here. But let's zoom in. Of course, we have a flood warning in effect for the West Canada Creek heading down toward Mohawk right here in Herkimer County. We have one impacting the Mohawk River here down toward Little Falls. That flood warning again in that green zone there. We look up to the north, Black River extending from Boonville over to Lowville and eventually up more to the north. That is also impacting the local waterways. And then finally, we look down to the Shenango River at Sherburne, also seeing some of that, that flooding as well. So Yorkville Battery Live Radar, we have this rain continuing today. It's not going to be as intense. Severe risk is done. We're not looking at as heavy of rain, but nonetheless, we still have a few more scattered showers to get through, at least early today. Temperatures you see here at 62 in Poughkeepsie, 36 in Watertown. There's that front finally pushing through. We were on the edge of it all of yesterday, and now finally we're going to see that cool down on the way. Highs only in the 40s today with mostly cloudy skies. We have a look at what we can expect throughout the rest of the week with any additional rain chances and storm risks straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. And before you went to bed last night, we asked folks around the region to share any flooding photos or videos they have. Of course, keeping safety first in mind. This video was sent in by Stephanie Daly. Wow, this is the Dolgeville exit in Dolgeville. The homes right there, they say, are on Main Street. Take a look at this video our crew shot last night in the town of Trenton of the Cincinnati Creek. It looked more like a raging river right there. The creek jumped its banks and even closed roadways up there. This is Prospect Junction Road between Plank Road and Owens Road, which is closed until further notice. Now, the scene was similar in Hinckley at the Hinckley Dam, where water is flowing over the spillway. Flooding is forecast to continue along the West Canada Creek as water levels at the dam continue to rise. The dam is forecast to experience moderate flooding beginning this morning. And take a look at this right here. This was from yesterday morning. It's the Mohawk River on River Road in Northwestern, just north of Rome. The Volunteer Fire Company of Western shot this video from inside the fire truck along River Road. Take a look at that raging Mohawk River right there. And a 4-foot sinkhole caused by heavy rains yesterday morning shut down both sides of I-88 in a portion of Otsego County. This had that very important interstate between Unadilla and Otsego closed. Now, traffic is shut down in both directions, and right there you get a better idea of how big that hole is when you see that man standing right near it. And you can see the water at the base. There is no set timetable for repairs. And of course, stay with News Channel 2 throughout the day today for updates on I-88 and all of the area flooding. Other news now, Paws for All Paws of Herkimer is taking in 20.
This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Welcome back to Sunrise on this April 1st. It's currently 5:11 this morning, and here's a look at your forecast in a minute. And first off, no tricks in the forecast today. There is no severe weather expected. We've got still some damp conditions, patchy drizzle and rain showers to start your day, but the rainfall rates will be nowhere near as high as yesterday. Current temperature 54 at Griffiths, light rain, a north-northwest wind. That's going to usher in some cooler temperatures this afternoon. But keep in mind here, look at that dew point. We've got a very, for early April standards, saturated atmosphere. Sunrise 6:48, sunset now officially at 7:30. Roadways this morning, you could see here a mainly damp start, ponding obviously in flood-prone areas. Watch out for that as you head out the door. Roadways still looking mainly okay. Reminder again, the I-88 is closed between exits 10 and 12 as of right now. According to officials, there is no timetable on the road opening, so follow the sign detours if you're in that neck of the woods. Radars you see here, a few spotty rain showers, nothing major, and today it remains pretty consistently in the upper 40s, maybe low 50s in some spots. And we do have another warmer stretch ahead toward the end of the week, but that would be aided by even some more rain. We'll be tracking that for you coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Happening today if you live on
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody, on this April 1st. Happy Wednesday. What a busy day yesterday. In fact, here are the latest water levels from the extremely high rainfall rates we saw yesterday. First, let's begin with West Canada Hinckley, currently in moderate flood stage right now, expected to crest a few more inches. West Canada Creek at Cass Bridge, currently again in moderate flood stage. Mohawk River at Little Falls, currently in action stage, expected to reach minor flood stage this afternoon. And of course, Shenango River at Sherburne also currently in minor flood stage. A couple other waterways to share with you guys as well. Mohawk River at Delta currently at near flood stage. Black River at Boonville expected to reach minor flood stage. Moose River at McKeever is rising, and Sequoia Creek at Whitesboro is falling. So maybe good news along that front. We do have some additional rain expected today, mainly south of Route 20, and then there's more scattered showers expected over the next couple of days here. But again, nothing extremely meaningful like we saw yesterday. And look at the rainfall totals here. The only total I didn't manage to get in time was Woodgate, which is currently at 1.49. The rest of these totals here are accurate for the last 24 hours. You see here some spots nearly 3 inches of rain accumulation, and this is something that could seriously cause, especially this early in the season, flood concerns. So for right now, we're going to slowly see the delayed effects of this rainfall, especially with the dams, and then eventually water levels will begin to recede. Radar and satellite showing that cause of the heavy rain, that stationary front finally pushing its way south a little bit. We got some impacts here. It's not completely dry. Patchy drizzle, on and off rain this morning, but it's a generally damp day today, and temperatures not really warming up all too much. We remain in the 40s for much of the afternoon, and then mainly cloudy skies. By this evening, we're going to see more rain begin to arrive, especially those of you south of the Thruway. That'll continue overnight tonight into early Thursday morning. Things are going to dry up a little bit as we head toward Thursday afternoon. Starting out in the 30s. Yes, it's going to be a bit chilly to start, but then we're climbing back up again eventually following Thursday's cooler weather into the 40s, 50s. Eventually, we're pushing 60s as we head toward Friday afternoon here with some sunshine working its way in. So this is the overall pattern we're seeing over the next few days, and we've got some, of course, warmer days ahead. So your 7-day forecast, a high of 52 today, a high of 45 on Thursday, with that rainfall somewhat tapering off. A lot of that rain exactly happening overnight. Friday, it's even warmer. We could be pushing the 70s if we get plenty of sun. And then we head toward the Easter weekend. It's 69 on Saturday. It's a little chillier on Easter Sunday, 59 the high. It cools back down again early next week. But as I mentioned, we're seeing a lot less of those 30s and 20s for highs. And we're considering 44 a cool day now, so I guess that's a plus.
Yeah, look at Friday, huh?
Yeah, not too bad, 70s,
Wow.
even some sunshine as
Get
well.
the golf clubs ready.
Get ready.
Eric, thanks. The time right now is for joining us for this half hour. The double whammy yesterday, heavy rains for hours yesterday morning, and then again last night has some local waterways spilling over their banks. And Eric, the question now, is there even more rain on the way?
Well, yes, there's some more rain, but thankfully nothing severe. So that's the good news here. Let's take a look at the local waterways right now, because again, as Gary mentioned, a lot of them are spilling over, and there's a lot of flood warnings in effect too locally. In fact, across all of New York State, you see right here, plenty of little green polygons indicating those flood warnings. We look here locally, West Canada Creek at Cass Bridge. That's a water level that's currently in moderate flood stage. It extends all throughout West Canada Creek here. This is in effect until Friday morning. This is the longest duration flood warning we have here. We have Mohawk River at Little Falls. That's at least lasting until tomorrow. Same thing with the Black River heading up into Lewis County. And then finally heading down toward Shenango County, Shenango River in Sherburne. Also reporting some flooding taking place as well. Those are all in effect until tomorrow. Yorkville Battery Live Radar. This morning it's not entirely dry. We have a few spotty showers, patchy drizzle, but the good news is the additional flood risk is gone. Now, what we're seeing today, and it's typical with flooding scenarios, is the delayed effect of that heavy rain. For example, the big locations, Hinkley Reservoir, and even some other dams as well. We're going to be seeing at least the effects of those be delayed, increased water levels during this time frame. Eventually, the water levels will decrease, especially in the smallest creeks. For example, Sequoia Creek in Utica also lowering. But nonetheless, a few spotty showers passing over us. Temperatures falling a little bit. It's 62 Poughkeepsie, 36 Watertown. Today we're in the 40s for much of the afternoon, maybe low 50s with drying conditions and more rain expected tonight, but again, nothing really looking that significant. Gary?
Looks like the high is right now.
Oh yeah, pretty consistent all day long.
And before that, it's going down. Eric, thanks. Well, gas prices nationally are going up. The average now $4 per gallon. Diesel is even higher. And now airline travelers just getting over those long lines could face sticker shock at the cost of future airfares. The White House says the war in Iran is close.
This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Welcome back to News Channel 2 at sunrise on this April 1st. Again, no April Fool's joke today aside from the rain that will not be severe. So no joking here. We got some good news along that front, especially with all the active weather yesterday. Don't want to play any tricks on you guys. We have, of course, a few patchy, drizzly showers here and there, but that's really about it. The rainfall will taper off. We're going to be dealing with cloudy skies for much of this afternoon and the arrival of more rain south of the Thruway as we head toward tonight. Now, our photo of the day today brings us to Taberg, a shot right here sent in to us by Rosemary of Fish Creek and the flooding that took place. And keep in mind, there is a river monitor on Fish Creek, but there are not any flooding forecasts. We have to rely on the knowledge that was passed to us, of course, in the years past of the flooding concerns there. It's currently at around 20 feet high. Flood stage unofficially around 18 to 19 feet. So you can see here, water levels extremely high. Several inches of rain yesterday, all the drainage heading into Fish Creek. So again, you can see just how massive the water is there. Of course, if you have any more concerned about flooding here today, our Storm Tracker 2 app, you can download it below me. It sends you warnings of flood warnings sent right to your phone as they happen. Now that photo brought to you by GPO Federal Credit Union. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Tiger Woods says he is
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. Today on this April 1st, we're tracking some cooler temperatures. No severe risk to put you at ease of mind here, but we are seeing some delayed impacts from that heavy rain in the form of flooding concerns. Here's a look at the latest water levels across central New York. We picked up enough to produce some minor, or at least minor to moderate flooding in a couple of spots. West Canada Creek is the big concern here at moderate flood stage, both at Hinkley and at Cass Bridge heading down the creek itself. Mohawk River at Little Falls currently at near flood stage, expected to crest at a minor flood stage this afternoon. Shenango River at Sherburne, again, it's cresting a little bit this afternoon, already in minor flood stage. Those are the worst waterways this morning. A couple other spots here to mention. Mohawk River at Delta Dam, cresting at near flood stage. Black River at Boonville under a flood warning due to that minor flooding expected as the delayed impacts move in. Moose River at McKeever, it is above the forecast data sets. Basically, we're already in near flood stage. The forecast already had it below that range, so I have it as rising. And Sequoia Creek in Whitesboro is falling here. Now, what does it mean for additional rain today? Well, it's not a lot, if any. It's mainly south of the New York State Thruway, and it's maybe 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 inch at most. So, of course, any additional rain is not great, but at least it's better than the several inches of rain we saw yesterday. Of course, a few more scattered showers are expected by tomorrow. Now, when it comes to the last 24 hours, you can see here, this is what can cause flooding in our neck of the woods. Look at those rainfall totals, 2 inches, nearing 3 inches in some isolated spots. And of course, all of that snow melt that took place added to that. And then on top of that, saturated soils. It's mud season here in central New York. So you have all that combining together to create flood risks for this time of year. All driven by this stationary front that's finally exiting to our south and east. However, we do have some more rain on the way as this frontal boundary will wobble north and south. Radar right now picking up on patchy drizzle. That's really about it in terms of any rainfall impact early today. Temperatures will hover in the 40s and 50s this afternoon. A bit breezy, cloudy skies. Tonight, we're going to see the arrival of widespread rain. Well, I should say widespread rain south of the Thruway, dry conditions to the north. Then as we head throughout the overnight, the rain will eventually end by tomorrow morning. It's going to be a bit chillier for your Thursday. Highs barely reaching the 40s with mostly cloudy skies. And eventually by 6 p.m., a few scattered showers expected, eventually switching to some warmer temperatures as we head toward Friday. You see here a bit of an unsettled start, but we climb into the 50s, eventually pushing the near 60 or 70 degree mark by Friday afternoon, with even some sunshine peeking out as well. As we head toward Easter weekend, it cools down a little bit, but I mean, at least this time of year, if we consider 40s a cool down, that tells you that the seasons are definitely changing. Either way, looking rather average for the rest of the next several days.
The news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us on this Wednesday morning. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And the double whammy yesterday morning, last night, caused those waterways to overflow in some parts.
Yeah, and a lot of spots still feeling the effects this morning. Here's a look at the local waterways and the flood warnings. Now, first, let's take a look at the bigger picture here. There's a lot of flood warnings across much of New York from that heavy rain yesterday, extending all the way out from Buffalo to here locally in the Mohawk Valley and extending to as far east as Vermont. So let's just zoom right in here. To start, we have a flood warning in effect for West Canada Creek, extending all the way down to Mohawk and Herkimer in the Mohawk Valley. Then as we head down to Little Falls, there's also a spot here at Mohawk River, also reporting flooding concerns there, that flood warning in effect. The biggest concern, however, is focused mainly here. Moderate flooding taking place in this zone right here. Black River at Boonville reporting at least some minor flooding today. A flood advisory in effect as you head toward I-81 over there. But at least for the most part, that risk is not as high. Flood warning in effect for the Shenango River here as well. So if you live in any of those green zones here today, watch out for flooded conditions. And most importantly, if you see a flooded roadway, turn around, don't drown. You never know if there's a sinkhole underneath it that, or at least the road is washed away. Water it can be very deceiving at times. Radar indicating a few spotty showers today. They are not highly impactful. They'll be more of a nuisance rather than anything. But either way, following this early morning rain and drizzle, things are going to cool down. And we're going to see at least highs today only in the 40s and 50s. You see here a lot cooler heading up north where that frontal boundary is currently situated. But you see here, it's a cooler start to your April, but it's not going to last long. We do have a warm-up by tomorrow. Before that, though, or excuse me, a warm-up by Friday. Before that, though, we do have some rain showers to track tonight and even some variable temperatures following Easter. We'll track those for you coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. And don't forget, the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away each morning. Well, before you folks went to bed last night, we asked around the region to share any photos or videos they have of flooding, of course, keeping safety in mind. Now, this video was sent in by Stephanie Daly. This is the Dolge Ave exit in Dolgeville. Those houses, she says, are on Main Street right there. Take a look at this video our crews shot last night in the town of Trenton of the Cincinnati Creek. Wow. Looked more like a raging river right there. The creek jumped its banks and even closed roadways. This is Prospect Junction Road between Plank Road and Owens Road, which is closed until further notice. Now, the scene was similar in Hinckley at the Hinckley Dam, where water overflowed the spillway. Flooding is forecast to continue along the West Canada Creek as water levels at the dam continue to rise. The dam is forecast to experience moderate flooding beginning this morning. And take a look at this. This was from Tuesday morning. It's the Mohawk River on River Road in Northwestern, just north of Rome. The Volunteer Fire Company of Western shot this video from inside the fire truck along River Road. Look at the raging Mohawk River right there. And a 4-foot sinkhole caused by heavy rains yesterday morning shut down both sides of I-88 in a portion of Otsego County. This had that very important interstate between Unadilla and Otsego closed. Now, traffic is shut down in both directions, and right there you get a better idea of just how big that hole is when you see that man standing right near it. And you can actually see water at the base of it. There is no set timetable for repairs. Of course, stay with News Channel 2 throughout the day today for updates on I-88 and all of the area flooding. Well, Paws for All Paws of Herkimer is taking in 25 kittens.
This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Welcome back. Time now just turned 6:12 on this April 1st. Happy April Fool's Day. And well, I do like to joke sometimes on at least a forecast like this. No joking. This is some pretty, at least important stuff to share with you guys this morning. First off, let's talk about current conditions right now. 51 degrees with a westerly wind out here. It's going to be producing at least some cooler temperatures this afternoon, at least cooler than yesterday. It feels like 51 out, of course, and a whole lot of wind chill when we get these temperatures this warm. Roadways this morning, very damp. In fact, a lot of ponding on some of those low-lying flood-prone areas. And a reminder, as you look at some of these roadways here this morning as well, if you see a flooded roadway, turn around, don't drown. That's the key here, especially with a lot of spots potentially getting washed out or some water going over some of the roadways. Either way, roads continuing to be closed, especially out toward Syracuse area, but at least locally, the only closure we want to focus on right now is I-88 due to that washout there, at least the sinkhole. There's no timetable on it opening again, but just follow the sign detours if you're in those areas down in southern Otsego County along the border of Delaware County. Yorkville Battery live radar, a few spotty showers here and there today, more nuisance rather than anything, not amounting to much, but either way, we're going to still see the delayed effects of flooding today. Of course, all that water going down toward creeks, streams, rivers, dams. So we have a look at those flooding totals here coming up in a few minutes, but at least today you can see here highs in the 40s, even cooler tomorrow with rain showers south of the Thruway tonight. We have a look at how the rest of the week shapes up as we head toward Easter as well, coming up in that full forecast. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Happening today, if you live on Paris Hill Road in the town of Paris, you will have low to no water pressure from 8 a.m. to noon. The town is doing a water valve replacement. Meanwhile, some who live in Rome say they have brown water. The city says the water department was working on a water main repair yesterday on Route 26. and that caused the brown water in people's homes. The work being done is between Glen Road and Bealby Road. There is no boil water advisory at this time. And the time right now.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. On this April 1st, today we are tracking some flooding impacts from yesterday's heavy rainfall. Let's dive into some of the numbers here when it comes to the water levels on some local waterways. The biggest concerning areas, West Canada Creek, both at Hinckley and at Cast Bridge. Now, not pictured here, of course, is the fact that is Fish Creek, which is another trouble spot here locally. Now, with Fish Creek, it doesn't have the river forecast potential. Basically, all these river monitors have flood forecast algorithms included in them, which is why they get put out into flood warnings. Fish Creek does not. So I just alerted the Weather Service in Binghamton about the fact that Fish Creek is over the banks. It's over 21 feet above, which is above the 18 and 19 feet threshold. But nonetheless, you see here, moderate flooding along West Canada Creek, over the dam all the way down to Cast Bridge and onward. Minor flooding, Mohawk River at Little Falls and Shenango River at Sherburne. Secondly, we have Mohawk River at Delta, near flood stage, expected to crest near flood stage. The only other minor flooding potential here is Black River at Boonville. Moose River at McKeever is rising, and Sequoia Creek at Whitesboro is falling. So we got some good news, at least, along that front there. So when it comes to additional rain today, you see here, a lot of that rain will be focused mainly, I should say, tonight through tomorrow morning, south of Route 20. A few spotty showers expected as we head toward Thursday into Friday, but again, not a whole lot is expected. Recapping the last 24 hours, you see here quite a decent number, and this only includes the rain that fell, not the snow that melted, and not the water that was already in the ground. So you have three things that contributed to this flooding risk: saturated soil, snowmelt, and heavy rain, consistent rain all day yesterday. So the radar and satellite showing the process which gave us that consistent rain, this stationary front wobbling south a little bit. And we're not out of the woods, the rain just yet, but at least the brunt of this system here, the delivering of the moisture, is pretty much over and done with. We have a few spotty sprinkles today, nuisance showers, if that, maybe a more moderate rainfall here and there, but it's not going to amount to much. But you see here today, the temperature's pretty much hovering in the 40s and 50s. It is pretty consistent here all day long. As we head toward tonight, we're going to see some rain develop mainly south of the Thruway and Route 20, impacting the southern valleys. Those of you north will be entirely dry. Then by 6 a.m. tomorrow, it does dry up a little bit. A few scattered showers expected Thursday evening. And then following that, we've got a cooler evening before we warm up again by Friday, up into the 50s, eventually pushing near 70 degrees with, yes, a few more scattered showers, but a bit more dry than not Friday. Then as we head toward Easter weekend, we've got 69 the high on Saturday, 59 the high on Sunday. A cold front works through Sunday evening, and that'll turn over to some cloudy skies and temperatures in the 40s, some higher elevations, 30s Monday and Tuesday. At least long range points to potential lake effect snow, but it's not a big event here, just some impacts coming from the winds off Lake Ontario. Either way, it's looking pretty nice. Look at that, 73 by Friday.
Talking about lake effect snow with a 73-degree day in the
Look at me talk.
Eric, thanks. Well, the Supreme Court delivered a major, everyone, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. Again, the double whammy yesterday, heavy rains in the morning, even more heavy rain last night. And Eric, I know that thunder was pretty wild last night for a while.
Yeah, thunder last night, even thunder yesterday morning, Gary. I mean, you could probably even hear it in our microphones. It was a very active day yesterday. Now today, Well, we certainly have some at least lingering effects, some flooding. We'll take a look right now at the flood alerts across central New York. We begin with a look at the widespread picture here. We have a lot of flood warnings going from Buffalo to the Finger Lakes into here in the Mohawk Valley as far east as Vermont. Zooming in here, the biggest concerned area, of course, West Canada Creek, extending from Hinckley all the way to Cass Bridge and onward here, heading down toward Herkimer. Mohawk River in Little Falls, also in that flood warning. Watch out for any flood concerns there as well. Zooming up to the north, we have, of course, Black River going from Boonville to Lowville. That spot there, also just watch out for flooding. And then finally, we head down to Sherburne area, at least the Shenango River down there, also reporting minor flooding. The only moderate flood stage right now, as I mentioned, West Canada Creek. Also, the water is over the banks at Fish Creek, heading up northwest of Oneida County. Of course, just watch out for some spots there as well. Today, we are tracking additional rain, but I want to clarify the rain today will not be highly impactful, more nuisance rather than anything. Spotty drizzle here and there. Once we see this frontal boundary pass, it's a drier afternoon with temperatures hovering in the 50s. See right here, quite a difference from Poughkeepsie up toward Watertown, 65 to 35, 30-degree drop heading north and west. But either way, today we're in the 40s, cloudy skies. We've got widespread rain at least south of the Thruway tonight. And a cooler day tomorrow, but we might have some warmer days as we head toward Easter weekend. We'll track that for you coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Gas prices nationally, the average now $4 per gallon. Diesel even higher. And
welcome back to Sunrise. Welcome to April, everybody. Now, of course, today obviously being April Fool's Day. No tricks up my sleeve today. I want to focus a lot more on the impacts of flooding here locally here in central New York. At least in the meantime, you look at the Yorkville Battery Live radar. A few spotty nuisance showers today, but that's really about it. Severe risk is pretty much all gone. We're now just seeing the delayed impacts of that heavy rain in the form of flooding across parts of the region. And speaking of flooding, here is a look at our photo of the day today, which brings us to a spot that doesn't usually get a lot of attention, especially in the statewide view of things. Here locally, a lot of you that live in this area obviously know about the Fish Creek concerns with flooding. This is a view of Taberg sent in by Rosemary of the Fish Creek going above 21 feet, almost 22 feet, and still rising. So obviously around 18 to 19 feet, that's when flooding becomes a concern along the shores, the campground there, and a lot of other spots that could be seeing some flooding along the banks there. Either way, the power of Mother Nature is always undefeated. Here's that. If you have any photos of flooding you'd like to send to us, WKTV.com/weather/pics. You can also not follow the day criteria. Just send any reports as well to just our email, weather@WKTV.com. That photo and every photo every morning brought to you by GPO Federal Credit Union. Gary?
Eric, thanks. The New York State Labor Commissioner.
Most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. On this April 1st, no April Fool's jokes today. It's straight to business when it comes to the forecast here. Look at the local water levels, the latest trends here I want to share with you guys right now. So first off, I am reading what we have of the latest numbers here and the latest trends with the readings here in some of these rivers. So first off, West Canada Creek, the big story, moderate flooding taking place right now. Cass Bridge has crested and is starting to fall a little bit. Hinckley Reservoir is still rising, expected to crest by around 2 p.m. today. Mohawk River at Little Falls also expected to crest at minor flood stage, as well as Shenango River at Sherburne. Secondly, we're looking at Mohawk River at Delta Dam. That is currently rising too as well, expected to crest by 8 p.m. today. Black River at Boonville expected to reach minor flood stage potential, and that is expected to crest by 2 p.m. today. Good news is Sequoia Creek in Whitesboro is lowering. At least the impacts will be at first felt by smaller waterways and then affecting larger rivers and eventually dams and reservoirs as the day progresses. Just the way the water flow works, the water cycle works here locally. But either way, we got the delayed impacts today. We have more rainfall arriving tonight. You see here around a half an inch south of Route 23, maybe about a quarter of an inch to half an inch between Route 23 and Route 20 in the southern valleys. A few more spotty showers expected as we head toward Friday, but other than that, there's not a high impact event expected, at least for the rest of the week. But still, with additional rain expected, there is still potential for flooding to be a concern. Not a high concern later in the week, but you get what I mean here. So we have, at least in the last 24 hours, picked up 2 inches or more of rain in some spots. And it wasn't so much the amount of rain. We had saturated soils from the winter time. We had snow melts. And on top of that, you add another inch or 2 of rain, and that's a recipe for flood concerns. And at least for now, the faucet that was over us yesterday has since been turned off. The stationary front is pushing its way eastward. We're not out of the woods yet with rainfall. See that rain out toward Chicago? That's going to pass its way south of Utica as we head toward tonight. Again, not heavy, but at least light to moderate rain. For the day today, though, expect just nuisance sprinkles and showers before that does end, and we're going to track cloudy skies this afternoon. Highs today, upper 40s, low 50s. We see that rain arriving tonight, as you see here, mainly south of the Thruway. It will end as we head toward Thursday morning, around 6 p.m., or 6 a.m., I should say. Eventually, a few more scattered showers late Thursday, primarily Thursday evening. Our best shot for, I should say, maybe more widespread rain. And then we warm up quickly as we head toward Friday. Some sunshine peeking out. We're in the 70s, a stray shower or 2. Easter weekend arrives. We're at 69 the high Saturday. A cold front moves through Sunday, and we cool down into the low 40s by Monday and Tuesday before we warm back up again later next week. So it's a bit of a slight cool down as we follow our first full weekend of April. We'll be right back.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Gary Libertor.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And those heavy rains yesterday morning and even heavier last night, widespread flooding throughout our area.
Yeah, this is a view from Fish Creek, some campgrounds along Fish Creek, and it's even some yards as well. Let's take a look again at some of the latest road, flood alerts here across central New York, and one of them which does include said Fish Creek here. Let's zoom in. So a couple of spots to mention. We have Mohawk River in Little Falls. We have West Canada Creek heading from Mohawk all the way up to Hinckley Reservoir. We have a few area creeks and streams just to the western portions of Utica, also under some flood warnings here. And of course, Fish Creek toward Blossville and Vienna near Sylvan Beach, all under a flood warning right now. Now we look at some flood alerts here. Going from Lowville to Boonville, Black River also at minor flood stage. And then finally, we have another flood warning here for Shenango River down in Sherburne. So a lot of spots here impacted by the rain. And again, the rainfall, at least the flooding today, is driven in by not only the rain we saw yesterday, but also the snow melt, the saturated soil. Basically everything, all the dominoes falling to support flooding here locally. Now the good news is there's no impactful rain locally for the time being. There will be some more rain that falls south of the Thruway as we head into tonight, but at least the main thing here today is it's a bit colder. We're in the 40s right now, 30s up toward Watertown. Despite that, you can see how stationary fronts work. Look out toward Poughkeepsie, 73 degrees. Quite a different story though for areas in western New York. So the next 12 hours, mainly quiet. Again, south of central New York, we're going to start to see some of that widespread rain move in the southern valleys, southern tier. We'll track that for you as well as break down the latest flooding numbers for you coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Plenty of firefighters dealing with flooded out basements today, as well as plenty of major flooding. Take a look at the video here. This is along Fish Creek near Vienna and Blossville at the campgrounds along the shores. People's campers are submerged and lawns flooded. Some driveways and roads have water flowing over them. Water levels recorded at Beck's Grove is at 22.7 feet, which is typically recorded below 7 feet. Flood stage roughly occurs around 18 to 19 feet, and this morning it has already surpassed that amount. Sylvan Beach officials tell us that the water levels are now around a foot away from all-time records, around 23.6 feet.
Yesterday there's nothing. Right now there's roads inside the village of Sylvan Beach as well as outside here in the town of Vienna that have water across it. As of right now, I'm not aware of any roads that are closed as of yet. There's minimal water across it. We are monitoring that situation very closely. And fire departments are working with emergency management, with the county, with the state, local DPWs, just to keep everybody aware, keep everybody up to date, and try to stop any potential hazards before they happen.
And we just heard on the scanner a water rescue is taking place in Sylvan Beach as we speak. So definitely some dangerous conditions out there, and the flood warning remains in effect for that area until 7 tonight, but it could be extended through the overnight. And a viewer, Tim Delano from the town of Ohio, sent in photos this morning of the flooding issues there. This is the West Canada Creek, and you can see it comes right up to the bridge there at Route 8 and 365. Tim tells us there is a section of homes in that area that have been cut off due to roads being closed. We do have a call into the town of Ohio Highway Department to get more information on the extent of the issues throughout the town there. As soon as we do learn more, we will pass it along. And last night we asked folks around the region to share any flooding photos or videos they have, of course, keeping safety in mind. Now, this video was sent in by Stephanie Daly. This is the Dolge Ave exit in Dolgeville. Those houses, she say, are on Main Street right there. And take a look at this video our crew shot last night in the town of Trenton of the Cincinnati Creek that overflowed. It looks more like a raging river right there. The creek jumped its banks and even closed many roadways. This is Prospect Junction Road between Plank Road and Owens Road, which is closed until further notice. And a section of I-88 in Otsego County remains closed today after yesterday morning's flooding caused a 4-foot sinkhole. This had that very important interstate between Unadilla and Otsego completely closed. Traffic is shut down today in both directions still. You can get a better idea of how big that hole is when you see that man standing by it right there. Now, there is no set timetable for repairs. And of course, stay with News Channel 2 throughout the day for updates on I-88 and all of the area flooding. Well, we are also following some breaking news.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon. If you just saw moments ago the warnings we had across the area, here's a look at the latest water levels. And these are something I'd want to add some context to. So, of course, there could be some warnings in, but what do they actually mean? Well, West Canada Creek is our big area we're closely watching. You see here at moderate flood stage right now. Now, what I can tell you right now is that West Canada Creek at Cass Bridge is slowly rising. And the reason for that still is because you head up even north to West Canada at Hinckley Reservoir. The reservoir itself is also rising. So in turn, it's going to cause a downstream effect here. So we're closely watching that local waterway. A couple other ones to mention: Mohawk River at Little Falls expected to reach minor flood stage. Shenango River at Sherburne is falling. That's some good news there as well. Other spots to mention here too: Mohawk River at Delta Dam, it's looking to be holding steady. Same thing with Moose River at McKeever. Black River at Boonville expected to crest at near minor flood stage and then fall. Sequoia Creek in Whitesboro, Oriskany Creek as well, also falling. And just we're closely watching at this point Fish Creek, which is still somewhat rising right now. We do have some more rain on the way. It's mainly south of the thruway. See these spots right here? Half an inch to an inch, especially as you're farther south toward the southern tier. A bit less as you head farther north. So there's additional rain expected tonight. Even a few more scattered rain showers expected tomorrow that will likely cause some additional impacts to the water levels. But at least thankfully, areas to the north are going to see a lot less of that rain. So we're in a bit of a limbo period right now, but notice to our south and west, there's our next round of rain. This is a very long stationary front, a conveyor belt, basically of just multiple faucets. And yesterday we had the faucet turned right on. Today, thankfully, it's turned right off, but again, this is the system we're closely watching here as we head into the next 12 hours. So radar, a few spotty sprinkles here and there, mostly cloudy skies and cooler temperatures today. That's really about it. As we head into tonight, we're going to see the arrival of that rainfall. See it arrive right here. Initially, a few light sprinkles. Overnight tonight is where the heaviest rain will fall. That mainly impacts the Route 23 corridor between Oneonta and Norwich. Now, by 6 a.m. tomorrow, things begin to dry up a little bit. We're going to see a few more scattered rain showers throughout the afternoon as well, through the evening, I should say, you see right here. And then following that, it dries up. More scattered showers Friday, but Friday itself looks to warm up even more. We're approaching the upper 60s, pushing 70 degrees, which will likely linger into the first half of the weekend. Now, as we follow the weekend here, you see we got some warm temperatures, but as we head beyond Easter Sunday, we got some cooler air on the way. Maybe some snow mixing in, but just a heads up that we're still going to be seeing some cooler temperatures returning here into the 40s by Monday and Tuesday. But for now, at least a gradual cool down. We are warming up Friday and Saturday. And again, Easter Sunday starts out rather mild. Then we have that cold front work through in the afternoon and evening. So at least right now, it's appearing to be quieting down, thankfully, in the water levels. We have more rain to track tonight. But still, just make sure you're up to, at least aware and up to date with the latest warnings for flooding.
And a lot of folks dealing with that flooding right now as we speak. Eric, thanks. Well, if you live on Paris Hill Road or no waterproof. And welcome back. So many folks around the region dealing with flooding this morning. I know you were out there this morning as well. It's kind of devastating. Yeah,
a lot of spots, some low-lying yards, campgrounds, roads themselves encountering this, and it's across the area, not just one localized spot. Let's take a look again at some of these warnings here, and you see it encompasses not only parts of the Mohawk Valley in central New York, but as far west as Buffalo. This is a widespread issue across the region. And again, locally, some of these flood warnings do want to emphasize the Fish Creek area, the newly put warning this morning in the area just outside of Vienna, Blossville, and Sylvan Beach. Heading down to West Utica, we're looking at the Oriskany Creek area. That's a spot that is currently seeing the flood warning there. The most concerning part we've been talking about it the last 12 to 18 hours is the West Canada Creek here. At least we have Hinckley Reservoir up here, which is still seeing increases in water levels, and of course downstream that'll impact, say for example, Cass Bridge just outside of Mohawk, or Herkimer I should say. And then finally Mohawk River in Little Falls. Good news is the conditions are improving there. Same thing between Boonville and Lowellville, Black River, and then as well as Sherburne area in the Shenango River just south of Earlville. Radar thankfully quieting down. This will help out at least some of the local watersheds here, but still, we have more rain on the way, especially south of Route 20. You see that rain coming in out near Erie, Pennsylvania, just along the southern tier of New York State. So, at least for the time being, again, it is pretty dry. It's cooling down. We're in the 40s right now. Even, in fact, a few flurries up in Saranac Lake, so quite a difference compared to yesterday. Now, as we head toward the overnight, we're going to see that widespread rain south of the Thruway. We'll have a look at those rainfall totals and the latest water level numbers across the region coming up in that full forecast. Gary?
Eric, thanks. As we mentioned earlier, President Trump will address the
WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon, everybody. Today we are tracking the continuation of flood concerns here across central New York. We take a look at the water levels right now. As you can see right here, we've got some flooding concerns mainly for a couple of spots. And I want to emphasize West Canada Creek at Hinckley and West Canada Creek at Cass Bridge. Of course, we do have some water levels rising here due to the fact that Hinckley is still rising. So in turn, release of some of the water is going to keep the West Canada Creek rather high for the foreseeable future. Mohawk River at Little Falls, it is still expected to rise, crest at 15.7. Good news is Shenango River is falling. Other spots to mention here as well. We have Mohawk River at Delta Dam. That's holding steady. Black River at Boonville, reaching around 10 feet and then expected to fall steady at Moose and McKeever, and it's falling at Sequoias in Whitesboro. Now, Fish Creek, a couple other spots too. We're seeing some rising conditions still taking place, and we'll continue to track those throughout the next several hours. In the meantime, projected rainfall still expected to reach a ½ inch to 3/4 of an inch in some spots, mainly in the southern valleys, pushing an inch as you head farther close to the southern tier. A bit less as you head more to the north. And this is what we're expecting as we head into tonight. Now, as you see here, basically the frontal boundary that caused this rainfall is now to our south. We have heavy rainfall here to our southwest. It's going to push its way into the southern valleys here again by tonight. So we're not out of the woods just yet with this rain system. As you see right here, it's now heading toward Cleveland and Erie, Pennsylvania right now. Yorkville Battery Live radar, it's still dry temporarily, but as we time it out here this evening, you watch that widespread rain begin to move its way in, mainly south of the Mohawk Valley, starting out as a few light sprinkles, turning a bit heavy as we progress toward the overnight hours and into early tomorrow. Then that rain is going to taper off a little bit. We're going to dry up before more rain begins to arrive as we head into Thursday afternoon and Thursday evening. See this right here? A bit more widespread. Then it dries up yet again, and then we begin to warm up as we head toward Friday. In fact, by Friday afternoon, we're pushing the 70s, mixing in with a few spotty showers. Saturday looking pretty nice as well. We're in the upper 60s as we head toward Easter Sunday. We're in the 50s, low 60s. Then we cool down into the 40s by Monday and Tuesday of next week. We'll be right back.
Newsroom, the Utica Fire Department is fighting a fire on Dudley Avenue at a home there. We rolled on some video from our tower cam.
Evacuated because of flooding. The homes are on Suits Avenue and Waterview Drive, adjacent to Fish Creek. This is video from the campgrounds there, and you can see campers and lawns flooded. Actually, the campers are submerged. Flood stage roughly occurs at 18 to 19 feet, but this morning it far surpassed that amount. And check out this video from the nearby Barge Canal in Sylvan Beach. Cody Pitcher got the video just as a gazebo was floating by on its way to Oneida Lake. It looks like it's attached to a dock or a deck. A lot of debris in the waterway there, logs, decks, docks.
Dangerous situation. Now to one of the places that's no stranger to flooding, Mohawk Street in Whitesboro. It's closed because of flood water between Main Street and River Road. The road will be closed until, of course, the water recedes.
In the town of Ohio, people who live on Snyder Road can't get out of their homes because of the flooding. These are pictures from Tim Delano. The problems are on Fisher Road that connects to Snyder Road. This is Black Creek going over the road.
The town of Newport is under a flood warning until late Friday morning. News Channel 2's Nolan Hyman was there all day looking at how it was impacting the town so far.
The West Canada Creek is flooding, submerging cars and flooding homes like you see here. It's happening all along Route 28. I'm here near West Canada Creek at the West Canada Creek campground. And as you can see, the water levels are getting very high. We have a few things floating in the water. You can see some stump over there kind of floating around. Also, you can kind of see it, but also you have these wooden fences. And if you look at the water line, they are right up there. They are right up to the posts, as well as up to the cabins that you see in the background. For residents experiencing flooding, the mayor says they can be helped at the Kuya Haru Community Center on Main Street.
They have a kitchen here, restrooms, and they have turned up the heat. So there is a refuge here if it gets out of hand. But all we can do is hope. I mean, it's very difficult to prepare for something like this.
And he's hoping the flooding doesn't get any worse.
We're keeping our fingers crossed that we don't get much more rain over these next couple days, or we would really have some issues to deal with, I'm afraid.
When the Hinckley Reservoir is high, the West Canada Creek is high. And according to the Mohawk Valley Water Authority, Hinckley is spilling over 2 feet. Reporting from Newport, Nolan Hyman, News Channel 2.
And again, if you're experiencing any flooding issues, you go to the Kaihora Community Center. Let's bring in Bill now. We're going to be dealing with this for a couple more days.
Yeah, the good news is that the water levels have crested just about everywhere. The only spots would be the Mohawk River from Little Falls east, and also the canal heading towards Sylvan Beach. So only the biggest bodies of water are still having some issues. We're still seeing areas that are above flood stage, but again, the water is on its way down. These are all the flood warnings in effect for central New York, Black Creek, West Canada, the Mohawk River at Little Falls, also Fish Creek as well. And again, things are slowly getting better. We do have some showers on the way, but this precipitation is looking much lighter than what we dealt with yesterday. So I don't think that this is going to cause any additional problems. It may just take, may just add to the time that it takes the water levels to recede. But this precipitation will be pretty light here heading into tonight. And again, lots and lots of video here. This one from Stephanie. This is along the East Canada Creek, heading towards Dolgeville. Current temperature 41 degrees. It's been a cold day. Temperatures are going to stay on the cool side tonight and tomorrow before we get back into some spring-like weather as we head into Friday and Saturday. I've got to look at the forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. For the first time in more than 50 years,
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We are tracking cloudy, cool weather over the next couple of days. A few showers out there, but the rain that is in the forecast is not expected to cause flooding. It'll be a lot lighter than what we just dealt with. Water levels continue to slowly recede across central New York. There are still many area rivers and streams are at or above flood stage. So just keep that in mind. We're still dealing with flooding issues tonight, but it is slowly getting better for most areas with just a couple of exceptions. Live look at downtown Utica. Again, cloudy skies. We are tracking some light rain showers approaching from the south. These will be with us as we head into tonight. This picture was taken earlier today. This was along Dairy Hill Road in Salisbury. This is from Paul Barnes, and you can see that this road had some pretty significant damage. There was some flash flooding that took place in many spots. We had many area rivers and streams go over their banks, including the West Canada, Fish Creek, East Canada Creek getting pretty high, Little Falls, the Mohawk River at Little Falls. Again, just too many to note here, but the good news is as we go forward, the water levels are going to continue to recede. Again, the one exception, the biggest bodies of water like the Mohawk River is going to take a little bit longer to reach flood stage. Also, too, Oneida Lake is still slowly rising, but even here, things will be getting better as we move forward. It's chilly. It's only in the low 40s today. It's going to be similar tomorrow. We're looking at cloudy skies. Yesterday's cold front has stalled just to the south. It's going to be slowly backtracking as a warm front as we head into tomorrow. It's going to bring clouds and a few showers. Again, this precipitation will be very light, not anywhere near as heavy as what we just dealt with. And we will see a few showers tonight, the steadiest of which will be south of the Mohawk Valley. Temperatures will drop into the mid-30s. Heading into tomorrow, cloudy skies will continue. Another round of rain showers will be arriving later in the day. Temperatures, again, only in the low 40s. Once the front moves through, it is going to warm up significantly. Heading into Friday, a passing shower in the morning, but we should break out into sunshine. This should allow temperatures to climb to near 70 degrees. And that warm weather is going to be sticking around into the start of the weekend. Additional rain going forward, about a quarter inch for most areas south of the Mohawk Valley, closer to a half an inch. But again, this is not to the levels that I would expect additional problems in terms of flooding. If anything, it might just delay the water levels from receding. Showers tonight, low 37. Tomorrow, cloudy skies, a passing shower, especially late in the day, a high of 42. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Warm Friday and Saturday, very spring-like. Easter Sunday looks wet, unfortunately, in the morning. We should dry out later in the day. An early high of 56, and it's windy. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, chilly for April, but compared to everything we've dealt with before, not too bad. And most importantly, it's generally dry heading into early next week. I'm not seeing any big rain in the near future.
All right, Bill, thank you. Today is the start.
Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
So we've had plenty of heavy rain over the past couple of days, and it's caused some flooding. This picture from Hannah Huxtable in Poland along the West Canada Creek. Now, the West Canada Creek crested today just 2 feet shy of the all-time record, the Halloween flood in 2019. This ended up being, I believe this was the third highest level that we've seen since records have been kept here. We'll double check that, but it was definitely in the top 5. And again, it did cause some issues here today. Also, as we move forward, the water levels are in the process of receding, so things are getting better and will continue to get better as we head into tonight. We do have some rain on the way, but this rain is not expected to cause additional problems. It might just slow down the rate of these water levels receding. The rain is going to be a lot lighter compared to what we just dealt with. Current temperature 41 degrees. It's chilly out there. We're going to stay chilly tomorrow, but look at the temperatures pop for Friday and Saturday. It's going to be very spring-like for a couple of days heading towards Easter. If you're heading outside to take the dog for a walk, temperatures will be in the low 40s. For some dogs, that's actually pretty comfortable. Tonight's featured dog is Skip from Steuben. If you want to be part of this, head to Skycast WKTV on Facebook. This is brought to you by Nissan. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. Today is National Walking Day, and it comes in...
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We are tracking a few sprinkles working in from the south, but this rain is not going to be anywhere near as heavy, and it is not going to cause additional flooding. We had a lot of flooding take place today along streams and rivers, especially the larger bodies of water. I am happy to say that most areas, streams and rivers are slowly working their way below flood stage. Many of them crested between this morning and early this afternoon, and they are slowly heading down, which is good news. And again, we do have some rain in the forecast, but I don't think that this is going to be enough to cause any additional problems. I may just slow the rate that this water recedes, and there's no big rainfall in the immediate future. Here's some photos. We had a lot of them. We appreciate folks going out and sending us these pictures. This picture of Black Creek at Forestport from Jeannie. And this picture of the West Canada by Alexander Johnson. This, again, very close to Route 28. That's the road that we're looking at here. And again, we've had very significant flooding taking place across portions of central New York. Okay, with that being said, it is April Fool's. I had to do something for this. Why not show the temperatures of our Skywatchers below zero? You know what? It really kind of feels that way, doesn't it? Okay, maybe not 40 below zero, but certainly cold compared to yesterday. We're about 30 degrees colder compared, 20 to 30 degrees colder. Micah, Hartford, 42 degrees. Norway, 41. Mohawk, 45. Skenevis, 45 degrees. Going to be another chilly day tomorrow, and then we'll start to warm up. It's going to be a lot more spring-like by Friday. Yesterday's cold front has stalled to the south, and that's what's causing tonight's rain. This is a warm front that's going to lift north, but it's not going to move north until Friday, so temperatures are going to stay on the chilly side. Again, precipitation is pretty light. Temperatures will be in the upper 30s overnight. Cloudy skies throughout the day tomorrow. Another round of showers arrive late in the day. Again, temperatures only in the upper 30s to low 40s. Watch what happens Friday, a big turnaround, starting out in the low 40s, but break out into some sunshine and it's a lot warmer. I think temperatures will easily make it into the 60s, probably close to 70 degrees in the afternoon. Rainfall totals from here going forward look to be about 1/4 inch to as much as 1/2 inch of rain falls south of the Mohawk Valley. Again, another amount of rain. Any rain going forward isn't great, but this isn't anywhere near as heavy as what we just dealt with, so I don't think it's going to cause any big issues. Showers tonight, low of 37. Tomorrow, cloudy, a passing shower, a high 42. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Sunshine Friday, 70 degrees. Could see a late day rain shower. Same thing with Saturday. Easter Sunday, rain in the morning. Cooler and windy weather in the afternoon. Temperatures get chilly Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday with highs in the 40s. We'll be right back.
In Utica, new
Cast with Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Floodwaters are slowly starting to recede this evening. We saw them crest late this morning to early afternoon. We still have multiple flood warnings in effect for many area streams that are still above flood stage, including the West Canada, the Mohawk, Fish Creek, Black River, just to name a few. But again, with the weather relatively quiet, we have a couple of showers rolling in, but these are not expected to be all that heavy. I'm expecting the water levels to continue to drop as we head into tonight. We are tracking a few showers rolling in on this chilly first day of April. Current temperature 41 degrees. Heading into this evening, temperatures hold steady. Could have a few very light showers. We are tracking a chilly day tomorrow before spring returns. Much warmer weather to start the weekend. Look at the forecast coming up. Kristen, back to you.
Today marks the start of Child Abuse Prevention Month.
Oneida County.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. A chilly day today. We have some light rain showers on the way, but these will not be enough to cause any flooding concerns. A live look in downtown Utica. It's been a relatively uneventful day, which is good, at least weather-wise. But again, a lot of the waters that we saw, all the rain that happened last night caused a lot of flooding today. There's usually a delay to get all that water to where it typically goes into the smaller streams first and into the larger bodies of water. And again, we're still seeing some flooding issues tonight, but the water levels are slowly starting to recede. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Light rain showers are approaching from the south. Some photos to show you here. We got a lot of pictures. We appreciate them. This is Derry Hill Road in Salisbury. This picture from Paul Barnes. Some roads were washed out. And then another photo to show you. This one from Allison Jones. This was the West Canada Creek. The West Canada Creek, at least where it was measured at Hinkley Dam, was the record fourth highest that's been measured. The record highest was the 2019 flood, but some pretty significant flooding from here. And just remember, just 6 months ago, we were in a drought. Obviously, things have flipped around here, and as we go forward, things are going to be much, much different. It is April Fool's. Had to have a little bit of fun today. Let's put the Skywatchers in the negative territory, shall we? 42 below in Mike in New Hartford's house. I mean, it kind of feels cold. Maybe not that cold today, but you get the idea. Whitesboro, 46 degrees. Barneville, 39 below. 41 below in Norway. Cooperstown, 41 below. Dress nice and warm if you're heading out. Bigger picture. Cold front that came through last night is stalled to the south. This is going to move back to the north. So we're going to see some showers around, and the weather stays chilly until that front moves through. Cloudy skies tonight, a few light rain showers. Temperatures will be in the upper 30s. Tomorrow, a cloudy, chilly day, just like today. Some rain is expected later in the day, but it looks relatively light. The weather really warms up Friday. It starts out in the 30s and low 40s, but then the sun comes out as the front lifts to the north. A dramatic change. Temperatures very spring-like in the afternoon with highs in the upper 60s to low 70s. Additional rain tonight. It looks a lot lighter compared to what we just dealt with, but we're expecting a general quarter of an inch of rain tonight and tomorrow. Showers tonight, low of 37. Tomorrow, cloudy skies, a passing shower, high of 42. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Very spring-like Friday and Saturday. I wish I could say this lasts into Easter, but it doesn't look like it will. Cold fronts around in the morning bring some rain, and then it gets chilly heading into early next week.
Also about your joke, it's not funny if it could be true.
That would be wild, wouldn't it?
Let's call for sunshine, and everyone would laugh.
Wow. Thanks, Bill.
State police say 20 homes waited because of flooding.
Yeah, the homes are on Suits Avenue and Waterview Drive, adjacent to Fish Creek. This is video from the campgrounds. You can see campers submerged, lawns flooded. Similar scenes up in Newport as well. News Channel 2's Nolan Hyman takes us along the creek up there and tells us what residents can seek help.
The West Canada Creek is flooding homes in the town of Newport, leaving some trying to pull out their submerged cars. It's happening all along Route 28. I'm here near West Canada Creek at the West Canada Creek campground. And as you can see, the water levels are getting very high. We have a few things floating in the water. You can see some stump over there kind of floating around. Also, you can kind of see it, but also you have these wooden fences, and if you look at the water line, they are right up there. They are right up to the posts, as well as up to the cabins that you see in the background. For residents experiencing flooding, the mayor says they can be helped at the Kayahura Community Center on Main Street.
They have a kitchen here, restrooms, and they have turned up the heat. So there is a refuge here if it gets out of hand. But all we can do is hope. I mean, it's very difficult to prepare for something like this.
And he's hoping the flooding doesn't get any worse on top of the rapid moving water you see here.
We're keeping our fingers crossed that we don't get much more rain over these next couple days, or we would really have some issues to deal with, I'm afraid.
When the Hinckley Reservoir is high, the West Canada Creek is also high. And according to the Mohawk Valley Water Authority, Hinckley is spilling over 2 feet. Reporting from Newport, Nolan Hyman, News Channel 2.
We're going to end our newscast a little early tonight.
With Jason Palace.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. One person has died following an afternoon house fire on Dudley Avenue in Utica, and now investigators are looking into Oak Street after a male was found dead behind Maraboto gas station. Based on the police, Jolene Ferris reporting. Time now for a first look at the forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis. You went out and about tonight, didn't you?
Yeah, I got a chance to get out and see some of the flooding myself. This is the Hinckley Dam, and it was raging.
Yeah.
The water is spilling over 2 to 3 feet, and it was incredibly loud, incredibly powerful. And a lot of area streams look like this. Water levels remain high this evening, although they are coming down. A lot of these rivers crested earlier today. The larger the body of water, the longer it takes for rivers to crest after heavy rainfall. And it's usually about 24 hours afterwards that you see some of the highest water levels. But again, going forward, the levels go down. We do have a few rain showers that are showing up on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. This is going to primarily affect areas in and south of the Mohawk Valley. This precipitation will be pretty light. Current temperature 39 degrees. It's chilly. It was a pretty chilly day. As we head into tonight, showers will be around. Temperatures will drop into the upper 30s. A cold day tomorrow before more spring-like weather arrives. And also some breaking news from western New York. The first tornado touchdown was confirmed today. That happened yesterday. I'll have some of the details on that coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. For the first time in more than
This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
New tonight, some video you need to see. Harbor Point in Utica, just one of the many places that got hit with flooding. Water rising to mere inches away from the parking lot. It sits just below the benches there. This is a mess. That's water from the Mohawk. This was like this for hours today. Water seems to be receding. We just did get information from the city of Utica. They're currently monitoring the situation. The mayor says he is in touch with the director of State Canal Corporation, Ben Walsh, regarding the current conditions. Everyone is coordinating to mitigate flooding along the path of the canal. We will stay tuned for that. Meanwhile, state police say 20 homes in Sylvan Beach had to be evacuated because of the flooding there. The homes are on the Suits Avenue and Waterview Drive. That's adjacent to Fish Creek. This video from the campgrounds. You can see campers submerged and lawns flooded. Similar scenes up in Newport. News Channel 2's Nolan Hyman takes us along the West Canada Creek and tells us how residents can seek help.
The West Canada Creek is flooding homes in the town of Newport, leaving some trying to pull out their submerged cars. It's happening all along Route 28. I'm here near West Canada Creek at the West Canada Creek campground. And as you can see, the water levels are getting very high. We have a few things floating in the water. You can see some stump over there kind of floating around. Also, you can kind of see it, but also you have these wooden fences. And if you look at the water line, they are right up there. They are right up to the posts, as well as up to the cabins that you see in the background. For residents experiencing flooding, the mayor says they can be helped at the Kayahura Community Center on Main Street.
They have a kitchen here, restrooms, and they have turned up the heat. So there is a refuge here if it gets out of hand. But all we can do is hope. I mean, it's very difficult to prepare for something like this.
And he's hoping the flooding doesn't get any worse on top of the rapid moving water you see here.
we're keeping our fingers crossed that we don't get much more rain over these next couple days, or we would really have some issues to deal with, I'm afraid.
When the Hinckley Reservoir is high, the West Canada Creek is also high. And according to the Mohawk Valley Water Authority, Hinckley is spilling over 2 feet. Reporting from Newport, Nolan Hyman, News Channel 2.
And I want to show you this. This is video of the barge canal in Sylvan Beach. Cody Pitcher got us this video. That's a gazebo just floating its way to Oneida Lake. Looks like it's attached to a dock or a deck. That is something you do not see every day. Today was the start of Child Abuse Prevention Month.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. Welcome back. We are taking a live look in downtown Utica, and it is looking pretty quiet. It's been a chilly day. The weather has been dry for the majority of it, and that's been incredibly helpful because it's allowed for water levels to recede. It's been just a very wet pattern. 2 to 3 inches of rain last night, and we're, again, dealing with the repercussions of that today. We do have some very light showers out there, and yes, the radar is showing some colors here indicating maybe some snow mixing in. However, this is so light, a lot of this is not even reaching the ground, so it's hard to say if this is even bringing flurries. But if it does, anything is not going to stick. We are looking at temperatures generally above freezing tonight. This is mostly going to fall as rain showers. Take a look at this photo. This is a drone footage of West Canada Creek. This is in Middleville, and this is shortly after the bridge was shut down, taken by a drone from Bill Carter. And you can also see the flooding with that. This was the Black River in Forestport from Jeannie. This was taken earlier this morning. Yes, a lot of areas have been dealing with flooding today. Thankfully, the water levels are going down. Also, too, yesterday of note, this did not happen locally, but there was a tornado touchdown in western New York. This happened in Cattaraugus County, which is just south of Buffalo. This was an EF1. It was confirmed today by the National Weather Service. And this marks the first tornado touchdown of the year for New York State. As we look at the radar and satellite image, showers continue to move in from the west. This is all part of a cold front that moved through yesterday. That front is stalled, and that front is going to work back to the north. And that's going to bring us some warmer weather as we head into Friday. Storm Tracker 2 Skycast, scattered showers tonight, overnight lows remain in the upper 30s. Cloudy skies tomorrow, a chilly day, temperatures in the low 40s. We're expecting a few rain showers later in the day. Temperatures are going to warm up quickly as we head into Friday. It starts out chilly with highs starting out in the low 40s, but look at the temperatures as we get into the afternoon. They just break out into the 60s, maybe even low 70s. So much warmer weather on the way. Rainfall tonight and tomorrow looks relatively light. About another 1/4 of an inch is possible. This is not expected to cause any additional flooding. If anything, it may just slow the rate that the water recedes, but it shouldn't cause any additional problems. Showers tonight, low 37. Tomorrow, cloudy, a passing shower, 42. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Warm weather Friday, Saturday, very spring-like. Temperatures in the upper 60s to near 70. Easter Sunday looks wet in the morning, cooler in the afternoon. Temperatures in the 50s. It looks chilly but dry heading into Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We'll be right back.